Everyone, so today what we are going to be doing is putting on some TeraFlex sliders on Silver Surfer's Jeep here. Basically he's got the Ruby Rock rails right now, but he just was able to pick up a set of TeraFlex sliders, and basically he's just getting all ready for Moab. It's going to be going to Moab and probably going to Colorado, do a couple of trails down in Black Bear Pass and whatnot. But that's the pieces right there. So we will get started on everything, and we'll get back to you here in a little bit. So as you can see, we got the rock rails off. So you guys know there are two nuts plus a bolt. Two bolts, or two nuts plus a bolt there, and then two nuts plus a bolt there. You've got that on both sides, so if you're going to be selling those, if you have some on your Jeep, or if you got rails and you're going to be selling that stuff, just keep that so you can, makes it a little easier to get rid of. Anyway, so what we're doing now, we're getting the tape on the vehicle to protect it from scratching, because we've got to get some holes started here and whatnot. So you can see there. You're just going to have to be cautious as well if you don't want to scratch up your fenders and whatnot, that you maybe want to put a little bit of tape on the fender itself, just so that you don't scratch that up. But we'll get this side done, get the other side all taped up, and see where we're at now. We've put, as you can see in here, we've got some white paint in there, and that's where we punched it. Because when we do take the rails back off, you want to be able to find that. And if you just do the punch on the side there, you'll never ever find that little, basically that little tiny dent of what you have. But you can see we've had to support the rails up, as you can see there. We've got it centered front to back, so it's exactly where we want it in that respect. So you can see here, you can see that it's a lot easier to find these holes, as you can see. Mike's gonna. Oh yeah, there's two layers there. Okay, so basically what we're doing, we're just doing a pilot hole right now, and then we'll come back with a bigger drill and drill this out so we can get the nut serts. In. And we've got a nut cert tool to be able to do that. That's probably the easiest way.
Watch out for wiring behind you.
Holes up underneath. You've got to be very careful, because whatever you've got wiring inside your Jeep, you've got to be careful you don't hit any of this wiring, especially the factory wiring and whatnot. So you can see here we got to get underneath here too as well. So anyway, yeah, just be cautious of that when you do your holes from up. See, we've got all our bigger holes done here now. Basically what we're going to do is just touch up the areas with a little bit of paint, just to keep it so it doesn't rust and whatnot. Yeah, so that's what we've got to do there. The next thing we'll be doing is putting the nut certs in, and from there what we have is Mike has got himself a tool. You can see here it's a nut cert tool. So basically that's what he's got to do all of the to do all these nut certs. So anyway, what we'll do is we'll get this thing started. We'll show you what we've done with a couple of the nut certs so you have an idea. So if you get the same tool, you'll be able to do this yourself. See, we've got our first one in. One thing you might want to check is just to hand screw in basically the bolts themselves, just to make sure that all the threads are actually still okay, because you do not want to gall these threads up. You're gonna have to get this nut cert out and get another one put in it, and getting this out might be a little bit of an issue. Okay, so as you can see, he's got the nut cert in there, and he's just getting it squashed in there now. That's it. So what we'll do is we'll get another bolt, and we'll again try screwing in the bolt just like we did here on that one, do it to this one so that we can just make sure that everything is working well. And you can see there the threads are all in good shape. Okay, so you can see there, see how he squishes that in, and I think we're all good there. So having this tool to put these sliders in or put the nutserts in certainly makes this job a whole lot easier. Otherwise you'd have to have a wrench to hold the nut, and then also have an Allen wrench to kind of screw everything in. This is just so much quicker. Yeah, we realized he has a hard time painting here too. We just not quite understand. He didn't do well in school, I guess. You can see there's another one. You can see a little bit of paint there. We don't recommend that you do your touch-up paint this way, but to each their own. But as you can see there, it's got that nutsert all in. Yeah, I think we got it. So this is going pretty quick, actually. I guess having the proper tools makes a big difference.
Easy peasy.
Do you want to try one, Stephen?
No, it's okay. We have all the nutserts put in, as you can see there. Honestly, that's probably only taken us maybe 5, 6, 7 minutes kind of thing. It's actually, with that tool, it is so much easier. So what we're doing here, basically, we're just enlarging the holes. It's okay. Just enlarging the holes so that if the holes that were drilled on the Jeep are not exactly in the right place, this just makes it a little bit easier. It gives you a little bit of wiggle room so that you can actually get it all together. And we're just going one size up from the hole of what it was. What we did is we've marked all of the spots where we're going to drill. You do want to drill these just a little bit higher on the top side of that little hole there, just so that everything is tight when you just do all the installs.
Don't push too hard because it'll bind right up.
Okay, so you can see here we're getting all the gasket in, get the bolts, everything is in loose right now so that we can get...
So you gotta fish up to try to grab the hole.
Yeah, right there. Okay, so as you can see here, as we're pushing the rubber down, you've just got to feed the bolts in, basically in so that you can get everything so it's down, it pulled down nice and tight so that it seals up against the body and whatnot. So we have all of those bolts now in. We did have to trim the piece of liner like you can see right there, so we did have to trim that a little bit, but basically now we're just going to get all these all screwed in. You can see here now what we're doing is drilling some holes in the bottom. We've drilled a hole up through the floor, and then what we've got to do now, that hole has to be big enough so that we can actually put a punch in there, and we'll put a punch down on the top side, so it just makes it a lot easier to be able to know where the hole is, just so we don't have to do any measuring and stuff like that. But anyway, yeah, so we're going to get this done here now. We'll get that punch, we're just going to get it cleaned up here a little bit, and we'll get that punch and get everything going from there. you can see it right there.
Yeah, but how
That
would you
little
drill it if it's-
dimplet right there. That's where we're at right there.
From the top, though.
Yeah, but you're drilling onto a dimple, so it's gonna be like.
You just need to make a hole.
See it?
Oh. Yep, see it. So you can see we've got that one there drilled there now. So we just have the other two to get drilled out and we'll be able to. That's plumber's butt. We have everything done now. You can see here. These guys are dicks. You can see here they look really good. They're nice and light. They're only about 24 pounds a side. Honestly, they're really easy to put together, to put on. They look really good. Gives you a nice step to step up into the Jeep itself. But yeah, they are a really nice slider. Really impressed with them. You got to drill lots of holes. One thing you might want to do, and make sure you do, just make sure you have a punch that's long enough to go through the floor to get up when you got to drill the holes in the bottom. You got to do 3 holes there. Other than that, make sure you have the right drill bit to do the nut serts. And that's pretty much it. It's pretty simple. You got to have a punch and everything, but go through the directions that you need, or for the sliders themselves. And there's a video online that TeraFlex did do as well. But they're just a great piece. They fit just perfect. So you can see there. So hope everybody enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll include Silver Surfer's YouTube channel down below as well. So if you want to check out his channel, you certainly can. Okay, and again, thanks for watching.